Welcome to Certified Ethical Hacker online demo session. Let me introduce myself. Myself, P.S. Vikas. I am the full-time trainer in Hacker School. I am teaching ethical hacking, digital forensics, and incident handling in Hacker School for more than 15 years. I am certified ethical hacker, certified security analyst, certified incident handler, certified computer hacking forensic investigator, and certified EC Council instructor. So these are my achievements, and I am awarded 5 times by EC Council as an Instructor of Year award. You can check the EC Council official website also. You can get the achievements regarding that. And coming to course outline of CEH, in this course there are total 20 modules present. In our today's demo, we will explain in each chapter what practicals you're going to learn practically when you're going to join our course actually. Let's start with chapter number 1, Introduction to Ethical Hacking. By the way, what is ethical hacking? Ethical means legal, abiding to moral values. Hacking means unauthorized access to any digital device for stealing data or destroying data is known as hacking. So when we combine ethical hacking, it means you bind with the law of the organization. You will try to identify vulnerabilities with the help of scanner, and you will try to perform a simulated cyber attack on those bugs to confirm whether that exists really or not, till what extent hack can be possible, and creating the report for discovered bug. This procedure is called ethical hacking. So in first chapter, we will explain the fundamental concepts which will repeat in multiple chapters. In the initial stage itself, we'll cover those concepts first. Like, what is the difference between hacking and ethical hacking? Who are hackers exactly? What are the difference between black hat, white hat, gray hat, hacktivist, state-sponsored hacker, red hat hacker differences? With example, I will explain that. Then we will explain the important terminologies like what is a vulnerability, exploit, and payload? What are the relation between them? Without them, why we cannot hack any device? We will explain in detail. After that, we will learn about information security. What is it? Is it different from cybersecurity or is it same? I will explain the little difference between them. Then we will talk about what is confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity, and non-repudiation with their example from subject perspective and also from interview perspective. And last part, what is cyber kill chain process, which is prepared by Lockheed Martin company, which most of the companies follow right now to eliminate the threats exist in any platform. So what are those steps? That discussion we will make. So these are the theory part. As first chapter is the introduction, little bit theory will be there. Once these concepts we cover, then we will start the practicals. Practical begins in this chapter with building the ethical hacking lab. The question is why we have to build lab? Why cannot we hack direct targets online? Ask your friend, can you provide your phone so that you can experiment on them? Will they give you? They may not. If you tell them you want to test some hacking experiments on that, obviously they will deny. Similarly, ask your friends or colleague their laptop. Initially, they will tell, but when you tell them that you want to perform them security testing experiments, they may hesitate to provide you that. In spite of that, that's why we build simulation in our own infra without having multiple laptops. With the help of virtual machines, we can create that one. So we will show you, first of all, installation of VirtualBox software in our system. We will demonstrate you that how to install Oracle VM VirtualBox or VMware software in our system. And afterwards, we will give you flexible time in the class, both for online and for classroom students, to complete the installation of this OS called Kali Linux, through which we're going to learn the entire course. We will show you how to install. During installation steps, if you face any error, me and my colleague will help you during classes. So both for offline and for online. There'll be separate subordinate available. They can help you with that one. Once every single student complete the installation, then we will teach in this chapter Linux terminal commands basics or CLI commands basics. For example, I want to check in my system, are there any wireless interfaces currently connected or any external Wi-Fi USB adapters? For that, I will type iwconfig. Similarly, if I want to check all the network interfaces, I will type here ifconfig. It will show the entire interfaces and relevant MAC address and IP address associated with them. Then afterwards, let's say I want to check the IP address of the router. So I will type here route space -n. It displayed to me the gateway IP, which is a router IP. Similarly, I can check what is the size of my partition. So I will type here lsblk, which display the disk size to me overall. In a similar manner, if I type lsmem, which will show the memory information to me. Likewise, I will display list of commands and the meaning of them and their options. And I will also provide the reference notes in home to practice. Day by day, when you practice along with me, you will get a sound grip in the subject of the terminal commands. After teaching this in class, we will learn in topic about IP spoofing. Actually, IP spoofing is a part of chapter 3, but I will teach in chapter 1 itself because first we need to understand method to cover our shield, means cover our IP, not to get caught. So during IP spoofing, you will learn what are the difference between proxy chaining, VPN and VPS with a practical support. Here, right now, if I check my IP address, which is allocated to me by my internet service provider, it shows that this is my IP and I am from Andhra Pradesh right now. Now I have installed a VPN software called Proton VPN. In class, I will show how to install this, configure it in our system. Once the VPN is configured perfectly, let me visit this site once again. Or when I try to check google.com, Google from Japan will come. Language is completely changed. Even if I type here netflix.com, Netflix from Japan will come. JP English. So this way I can use it. But for what other purpose hackers use IP spoofing with a practical support, I will demonstrate. During this topic, you will also come across what is Tor service, how to install it, how to use it for proxy chaining purpose, what is deep web, which type of sites are called deep web. With some examples, I will demonstrate. And I will give you time around 10 to 15 minutes time for exploring that practicals in the class. This is all about IP spoofing and chapter 1 practicals. If you have any questions, you can ask me from this topic or I will continue to the next topic. You can ask me questions regarding this topic after every chapter. I will hold for around 15-20 seconds or at the end of entire demo also you can ask me and Q&A session will be there. You can ask me at that moment also. All right. If there are no queries, so I will move forward. You can ask your queries by enabling your mic or you can write a question in the Zoom chat. I will read and I will answer to you. Chapter number 2, footprinting, which is the first stage in hacking, which means information gathering. So what is it? What is the meaning of reconnaissance? What is the meaning of OSINT? Differences and similarities between them, I will explain that. Then why an ethical hacker has to perform footprinting. What exactly malicious hacker do? Differences between them, I will explain that. Then we will come across understanding about active and passive footprinting method. So this is the theory part. Then we immediately start the practical part. Sorry. So practical in this chapter begins with Google hacking. Google hacking is all about how hackers take help of advanced Google search filters to extract sensitive details like passwords, email IDs, IP address, camera, etc. with the help of advanced Google Docs. And we use that method to find the targets. Let me show that. Here we go. Let's say I will type here in URL colon edu.in file type colon xlsx space @gmail.com. By writing like that, I'm requesting Google to show me websites ending with edu.in which contain Excel sheets. Among those Excel sheets, anywhere @gmail.com keyword is matched, show me those results actually. So I got so many Excel sheets here. So if I prefer any one among them, let me show you. So here, not only I got mail IDs, I also received phone numbers. Sometime we are so lucky that we will get their date of birth information, Aadhaar card information, free of cost without any hard work, we can get it. Which hackers use it to send spam mails or otherwise phishing mails or otherwise malwares to those links, or we can perform social engineering attacks. In a similar way, when I type here gov.in file type colon xls password. So anywhere in government websites, anywhere password keyword is matched. So that keyword also I may find up. There is no guarantee that we may really find that one. If it is there, it will show to you. Later, hackers spoof their IP and they test, are those passwords are real? It's taking time to download that. Okay, luckily one file we are able to download. Here we got some details from the government website. If anywhere, somewhere password keyword is, that's why this Excel sheet got matched. So hacker will check up and later they will try to test that whether those username password still active or they changed up. We are able to right now watch a lot of mobile numbers. I think these are the passwords which are mentioned here in the right hand side. Yeah, user ID and password. And we can find the designated vaccinator and everything details. So later hacker will check for the login page and they will test this method by spoofing their IP address method. So likewise in Google hacking, we will demonstrate the task to you. After that, moving forward, we will learn in this topic what are domain, what are subdomains. Domains like hackerschool.in is a domain. Anything published in the domain are meant for public usage purpose. There is nothing confidential. Subdomains are meant for certain group of people who are working in that organization for their day-to-day activity purpose. So hacker will try to figure out the subdomains for that particular company, which will tell me how many departments they have. So during this moment, three practicals I will show. One, the harvester. Second, recon-ng. Third, particularly this one, sublist 3R application. Let me give you one example right now. For every practical in the class, I will halt. First, I will do the practical in the class. Then immediately I will give you time to practice. Right now, I'm searching for one module in recon-ng framework, which is a footprinting framework. Then afterwards, I will check for its option. Then I will configure the option using command option space set space source space some website name. For example, I will type here yatra.com. Then afterward, I will type here run command. If it capture any subdomain detail, it will definitely mention. So I found 18 subdomains relevant to Yatra, like ytcrm.yatra.com. So I'm curious that what they are running. So I will try to open that one in my browser. If I'm allowed to access that page, then definitely I can see them. If not, they will not show. So like that, I will check one by one which one I can access, which one I cannot access. So the page not found. So some of the pages are old or they may have removed it. So we have another one, TGCRM. Okay. So this way we will practice more and more in this topic. Two questions came in the chat. If the IPs is in shared hosting, then how we will get the exact IP of the website in shared hosting IP get changed continuously. So here it depends that who is your target, server or otherwise web page. If web page is important, then scripts are important on the page for attacking purpose. If server is important, so they will be mostly hosted behind the web firewall. So there are techniques present through which you can identify that one. So during web server hacking, you will learn the techniques. Second question came, if the website is in shared hosting, then we can get exact IP of the website in shared hosting. Yeah, true. We can find out the IP. If they change constantly, if you found vulnerability today itself, we can attack them. So we will show you that how to find out those IPs during web server hacking process. That's a chapter number 13 actually. Next, what are the prerequisite before this understanding this course? This is a beginner level course, completely from scratch we will teach it. So we only request students to have minimum knowledge of how to use your Windows OS, using Notepad, using browser, writing something in the Word document. That is important. Rest of the job is mine to teach in the topic. Okay. I hope I clarified all the doubts, so I can move on. All right then. So moving forward, in this chapter, we'll also learn what is whois lookup. Using it, how can we find any domain registration details? So by finding registration details, actually, how that information can be helpful for forensics and also for an ethical hacker through which they can commit social engineering attacks. And what to do to protect that information not to be revealed to any unauthorized user. Next, how to trace any IP address using IP logger process. If you know someone using WhatsApp or Telegram and you want to trace that IP address by using IP logger process, how can we trace their IP? We will demonstrate that practical during the topic. So we will take few websites and I will demonstrate a tactic. If you want real thrill in the class, I will give you, I expect from you that check out in your WhatsApp who is online available in WhatsApp or in Telegram. You need to perform experiment on them. So that tactic I will show, same tactic you perform, guarantee you will also get the result. Then afterwards, in this topic, you will learn some random practicals of footprinting, like what is Shodan search engine? Why, through the help of the Shodan search engine, how can we find technical information about any company? Like if I type here Reliance Industries, relevant to Reliance company, any IPs are crawled, we can find the details here. What we can do with the captured information that I have to explain, and I will give you time to practice in the class. After this topic, we will move forward to archive search engine. Why it is called Internet Time Machine? So from this website, which type of informations we have to collect, that method I will demonstrate. And I will give you a CTF, capture the flag challenge in this one. You need to find some info. If you're able to succeed, that's good. If not, after the time ticks or over, I will demonstrate the result for that one, how to gather. So you'll get an idea that how this Wayback Machine site can be helpful in information gathering process. And next in this topic, you will learn what is OSINT framework, which type of informations we can extract with the help of this website, open sourcely online. That methodology, I will demonstrate that one. And afterwards, we will learn some other random practical like if you have photo, if you have any PDF documents, how can we find technical information from them, who created, by using what software, IP address. We call it as metadata analysis. How it is done, I will demonstrate that. Next, by using Spiderfoot, you will learn how to extract email IDs from any company websites. With that, we will wind up chapter number 2. In the ending of this chapter, you will learn countermeasures for the information gathering attacks. So any queries are there, or shall I move forward? All right. So I will move forward to the next topic. Chapter number 3, scanning networks. Before we start this chapter, we will add an additional chapter between chapter 2 and chapter 3, that is networking basics. How much networking concepts are required for this course? That part I will compulsory cover as an extra topic. Like what is network, types of networks, topologies of network, what is an IP address, difference between IPv4 and IPv6 protocol. Then we will understand about what is a difference between public IPs, private IPs for IPv6 and IPv4. Then what are static, dynamic and laser line connections. Then what are ports, how many virtual ports a computer contains. Then what are protocols, what are the difference between TCP, UDP, ICMP, BGP, ARP protocol differences. And later we will understand about difference between router, switch and hub. With that, I will wind up networking basics concept. Then we will start chapter 3. So these all concepts knowledge is required to begin from this topic. Chapter 3 scanning networks is a second phase of information gathering where we will directly interact with the IPs and we test how they are responding. Based on that, we decide whether they are behind firewall or not behind firewall. And through the, I will tell in scenarios with examples in this topic. Imagine where we can use this topic. Let's say you hacked someone's Wi-Fi. You become part of that hacked Wi-Fi. Now we are curious to know that in that Wi-Fi, how many current active devices are there who connect to that access point. So how to find out them using live host identification scan, you will learn. Or another example, let's say you are using one internet service provider connection, maybe Act FiberNet or maybe GeoFiber or BSNL, any something you will be using. Now we are curious to know that in this city, how many other customers are using the same ISP connections. So to find out them, live host identification scan can be helpful. Let me show one scenario. So here we have a section called information gathering, live host identification. How to use these all softwares I have to demonstrate during this topic. Let me give you an example right now using fping. So here I will type route space -n. So here we will come to know about router IP. So I will expect that in my network, others who are connected, they are part of same IP range. So I will type here sudo fping -agq Then I will write the IP address range. When I will press enter, it will send some traffic background to those IPs. Based on reply come back, our application will decide that the following IPs which you see in the screen are alive. So I will also explain you background what we send through which we get a confirmation the certain IPs are alive. But I'm not getting MAC address here. To get the MAC address to confirm that these IPs are really alive, so let me pick up sudo arp-scan. Then I will provide the IP address range here. And when I press enter, it scans the list of IPs and their associated MAC address. And also how to know by MAC address whether it is a smartphone, whether it is a laptop or tab, how can we identify to create the blueprint of the organization. For that, extra steps are there. I will make a practice for that one. And I will give you some time for practice in your network when you're practicing from home or from class actually. We will practice on both public domains and also on the same network. After this step, we will learn about ports. Ports are the doors for any computer. If ports are not properly secured by any firewall, then that port can give the complete access to the hacker who is not allowed to use it. So we have to find out every single opportunity to hack the target. That's how hacker thinks. We will teach the port scanning using Nmap. Right now, I can find that in my network, there is one IP which is alive. Now I want to know that in this IP, how many ports are open. So I'm performing a simple port scan using an Nmap command. And I will wait for capturing the result. My result is telling me that these many ports are open on the target depending on TCP protocol and they're running some service. So in class, you will learn what is a TCP connect scan, stealth scan, software version scan, OS reduction scan, what is difference between XMAS, null, fin scan. With practical approach, I will show on same network and on public domains. Similarly, what is aggressive scan, script scan, acknowledgement scan, for what purpose we use it. For every single attack, different type of scans are available. And I will show the task and I will give you challenges in the class to find information on them. And in the ending of this chapter, you will learn the countermeasures for these attacks. With that, I will finish chapter number 3. Any questions, dear participants? You can ask me now. If you have any expectations, I can clearly tell you whether it can be covered in this chapter or not. One question came here. When doing port scan, if website having firewall, then how we bypass them? This is not the topic for bypassing part. There is a separate chapter called chapter 11. So chapter 12, evading firewall, IDPS and honeypots. During that topic, we will discuss about them. TCP wrapped means there is a trap. Honeypot is there. Or some IDPS or maybe network IDPS may be running or it can be honeypot. For that, always we get TCP wrapped. Those are fake ports. Anything else? All right then. So I will move on. Chapter number 4, enumeration. Enumeration is the next stage of information gathering. In this stage, what is the difference between footprinting and enumeration? Footprinting is done before connecting to the target. Enumeration is done. It's a type of info gathering which we perform after connecting to the target successfully. In chapter 3, we learn how to find ports. In chapter 4, we'll teach you how to connect to those ports. For connecting them, what softwares are required. While connecting, we may face obstacles like they may ask you username and password. So how to break those username password for those ports? We're going to learn that practicals in this topic. After breaking the passwords, how to check what commands will work, what commands will not work. That is what enumeration topic is all about. Let me give you an example here. Here we discover on 107 IP, 21 port is open. Okay, which means FTP. To connect to that FTP, So I will use this method. So it is demanding for username and password, which I don't know. These type of services we regularly find up in router, IP cameras, cloud, servers like that. So when we discover them, hackers spoof their IP and they perform passo cracking attacks on them. So for passo cracking, we will teach in this topic using Hydra and Medusa. These two applications we will demonstrate. Let me give you right now an example with Hydra right now. Hydra will not crack on its own. It will depend on the word list. So I am providing here username word list and password word list, which I personally created that. After adding that word list to that, I will launch attack on the target. If anywhere in the word list, if the username password match, it will show. If doesn't match, I will take a different word list. It will take some time to load. Now it came. Anywhere in the word list matches, it will show in green color. So these are the working username password. Hackers, what they do when they crack somebody's username password on public IP or in the same network, then afterwards they connect to them. They enter the cracked username password for testing. So during this topic, you will learn how to check what commands will work on them, what commands will not work on them. Can I shut down? Can I modify files, edit files? This activity is called enumeration attack. So I will show how it is done for database servers, how it is done for DNS servers, how it is done for mail exchange servers. So for every important services in information gathering, we have various tools. So during enumeration chapter, you will learn tools under SMB analysis, how to use them. Similarly, if port number 25 is open, how can we use SMTP user enum for testing what mail IDs are currently active, who are part of that particular domain, who are sending emails. What hacker will do by discovering that information, that I have to explain that. Similarly, if 53 port is open, how to find out subdomains actively by forcefully extracting from target DNS servers. So these practicals I will cover. Apart from that, you will also learn how to do enumeration attack using Nmap scripting engine. There is an additional section in the Nmap, that is a Nmap scripting engine. So by using these scripts, service to service, how can we check what details we can extract? That methodology I will demonstrate in the class. And I will give you targets to practice. So safely we can practice from home also. And after teaching this, for the passo cracking tools, how can we create the word list using Crunch, Quell, Cup? I will demonstrate that method. For example, I want to create a OTP word list using Crunch. So I will type simply here minimum 6, maximum 6, and I will write down the numbers and I will write down my output file. Instantly, 6 MB file will be created in which 1 lakh or 10 lakh combinations of OTPs are created. So far, I can use that word list for any tool I like it, wherever infinite authentication trials are permitted. So that where we can use it, along with the practical support, I will cover it. With that, I will end chapter number 4. Any questions? Okay, so I will move on. Chapter number 5, vulnerability analysis. Vulnerability means weakness in any software or OS or in firmware, which will help hacker to crash or hang the target application or the entire device. That's a vulnerability. So how many varieties of vulnerability exist for software, OS and firmware drivers? In this topic, we'll discuss that. Then what is vulnerability research? How that vulnerability research is done with the open source websites through which we can perform passive information gathering. Like there are certain sites which will act as a library. From there, we can collect the details. Like vulnerability-lab.com, very popular. In this site, I know many topics, terms which I'm picking up are completely new. That's what the course about. You will be joining the course so that I can teach you from the scratch actually in detail. When you practically do on your own, you will get a clear-cut picture about it. So here, how to read this data, what is the meaning of the information when we observe it. Some important terms I will tell you that can help you understand the information about the bug. What is it? Where, which OS are affectable, how to use it for further attacks. I have to explain that concepts here. Okay. Similarly, we have alternate websites. cvedetails.com. Imagine that my friend is using Windows 10, but I don't know that how to hack him. But I'm curious to hack my friend. So if I don't know, I can ask this particular website, Windows 10. So when I ask here, whatever vulnerabilities were discovered and published, they will mention it here. So overall, how many varieties of bugs present? So how many bugs were discovered for Windows 10 during certain years? They have mentioned. For example, I'm interested in memory corruption. So they have mentioned two. What is it? So here they will mention the software through which hack can be possible, until which level of access can be possible. They will clearly mention it here. In the same way, I can search for exploitable system for which weapon is available. So later on in this topic, I have to explain the significance of CVE, reference IDs. What is this number represent? On what basis this color and the scoring numbers are decided? What is the important role plays in security testing? That concept I have to explain in detail. Okay, which will be guarantee asked to the freshers when they are applying for jobs in cybersecurity domain. Then afterwards, coming to practical. In this chapter, you will learn two practicals. One, how to download and install Nessus software in our Linux. So we will show you the installation of Nessus community version. The installation itself will take around 1.5 hours. We will give you that much time in the class. Once all of you complete the installation in the system, then how to perform vulnerability scan on any OS or any IP. So during this topic, you will understand the difference between internal and external vulnerability assessments. So I will give you targets from public IPs so that online students and offline students can practice without keeping a difference. So after you perform scan, how to read the report, how to know that which bug can be helpful for me to hack. So how to search for the weapon, how many type of report formats we have to create. These steps I will cover in this topic. And last but not least, you will also learn how to perform vulnerability scan using Nmap application. Nmap also can be used for vulnerability scanning purpose. With that also we will demonstrate in this topic. With that, we will wind up chapter number 5. If you have any questions, please ask, or I will continue to next topic. One question came here. Once we finish this course, what is the course helping us? What is the individual benefit we will get in this industry? By learning this ethical hacking, you will come to know how to perform automation and manual vulnerability assessment on any IT infrastructure. Second question, every CV vulnerability can be exploited? No. It depends on whether CV is low or informational or high or medium like that. Depends on the CVSS scoring number. The certain CV can be used for exploitation. Anything else? So moving forward, Chapter number 6. From this topic onwards, we will learn about attacks. First, we will introduce you in this topic what is penetration testing. Then, what is the difference between vulnerability assessment and pen testing? A slight difference is there. That part we will explain here. Then afterward, we will introduce you to exploits. Here we will learn and understand about exploits in detail. Similarly, what are payloads? Different type of payloads we will learn in detail. Then we will introduce you to exploit framework, which is absolutely freely available, installed in every hacking OS, that is named as Metasploit framework. What is it? First, we'll cover the basics of it. Then we will demonstrate the practicals for hacking, Windows 11, Windows 10, Ubuntu 24.04, 23.10, 23.04, due to what software bug it can be hacked directly or indirectly. That methodology we will show here. Let me give you an example right now. All right. Once it loads, here, right now I'm using Windows particularly. Right now, I'm basically using Windows 11. And from Windows 7 to Windows 11, basically we have PowerShell. And our PowerShell are highly vulnerable, even if you have latest updates and patch. So I have one exploit which will create a malicious PowerShell file. I will deliver it to the target through WhatsApp web or Telegram. If the target clicks and downloads it, and out of curiosity, if they open, even if they are behind antivirus firewall, we can bypass them and we get the connection. So right now I'm configuring the backdoor. This will create a malicious link. That link I'm going to share with my target. During this practical, online and offline, we will learn this particular practical in completely remote level or in WAN level, irrespective whether you are in different country, different city, without having our ISP IP, how can we hack remotely? That process I will show. And for that, my another secondary laptop will be the target for all of you, where you will not use anywhere the private IPs which are given by router to us. So during this moment, you will learn what is port tunneling, how port tunneling software we can install, and we can use it for remote level hack attack purpose. So I sent the file, it was sent to the target, and immediately if the user, just a moment here. So here we have the file. Out of curiosity, if you open this file, even if you are behind antivirus firewall, finish, system is hacked. Even out of doubt, if you have deleted this file, that, oh shit, I have clicked the wrong file. So let me delete this one. Okay. Still, hacker holds the connection. And I got the connection here of that Windows 11 machine. Here is a proof. So, which type of other attack vulnerabilities are there present in Linux and Windows, which can be targeted in this manner? So I will show, if you know the target IP and port number, how to hack. If you don't know anything about target, but you know target device have certain software like MS Office, Adobe Reader, VLC player, how to search the weapon for that and hack it. That method also you will learn here. So you'll come to know the difference between client-side and server-side attacks. And what is this Meterpreter backdoor? By using it, how can we control webcam, mic, upload, download files, steal the SAM file, which contain Windows login passwords, and break the passwords? These tactics I will make a practice in the class. And after this, you will learn what is privilege escalation, how to elevate privilege from lower level account privilege to higher level account privilege for Linux and for Windows. With practical support, I will cover it. With that, and in the ending, what is the best countermeasure for exploitation attacks? With that, we will end chapter number 6. Metasploit is not just covered in this chapter. Now onwards, in every other chapter, we'll cover so that to make you understand topic wise how valuable this tool is actually in IT industry for offensive method of security testing. Now, any questions you have, please ask. One question came here. With this course, I work with pen testing team in my office, or else this course will cover basics of pen testing. Dear sir, once again I will tell, this will teach about vulnerability assessment. If you, along with this course, I hope during the inquiry, our team may have informed you. Along with this ethical hacking course, there is another course available that is called penetration testing. That course will teach about pen testing actually. The training is absolutely free. So once this ethical hacking course is going to be over for you, during that moment, you can check our website. The nearest batch dates will be mentioned. Our team will automatically send that pen testing batch training links to all of you. Freely you can join and you can listen that one. Or you will receive the recordings also for that one. Okay. So moving forward to our next topic. Chapter number 7, Malware Threats. In this chapter, we will teach you what is malicious software, what are the difference between virus, worm, Trojan, backdoor, rootkit, bootkit, scareware, ransomware, adware, spyware, differences between them. So, along with this one, after explaining the concepts about it, we will teach to all of you how we can create backdoor for Java platform, Mac operating system platform, Linux platform, particularly using MSF Venom. In WAN level, we will teach that one. And I will create targets for all of you. From internet, all of you users can hack me. This chapter will take around for 1.5 days actually. In detail, we will learn. First, we will learn the bad side part of the malware. Then we will learn the analysis and countermeasure methods in the class. MSF Venom is a sub-project of the Metasploit framework. So how to use it to create the backdoor, that process I will cover here. Let's say I will write here naruto.jar. So I'm creating a backdoor for Java platform. Wherever JRE is installed, irrespective of OS, if they get this file, if they click this file, their machine will be in my control. So apart from this one, how to do malware analysis, what is the meaning of static and dynamic malware analysis? For static, what software from our Linux we can use? For dynamic malware analysis, how can we do it? With various methods, I will install in Windows and I will demonstrate the scenario. I will give you sample malware files to all of you. I will give you 10 minutes time. First, I will show my method to you. After that, I will give you sample files in the class. Your job is to figure out, are there any malware in that file? You have to declare whether it's a good file or a bad file with your investigation method. Suppose if you're unable to figure out that, I will show how to find out malware present inside that. So in a CTF process, I will show that one. Example, in front of me, Java file is present. So I will open right now. So I opened that file and I can see the plain text characters inside that. So I will find the evidence or clue among them. If it is there, it will show to me. So here I can see the attacker's IP, attacker port number, which is used by hacker to target the victim. So I will try to find clues among them. Similarly, what is a debugger? What is particularly a disassembler? For what purpose it is used up? We will install in our Linux. What are process explorers, registry editors? Which type of bug we can discover through that one? Some certain commands in the Linux I will show which can be helpful for analysis of the files actually. For example, I just created this file. If I want to find out author of this tool, I will use this scenario. So it will give me the information that when, what, and in which type of compression method is used up, what is present inside that. I got some evidence here inside that can give me a hint that it is a suspicious file actually. So both we will learn offensive method and defensive methods in this topic. So in the ending of this chapter, you will learn the countermeasures for the malware. Is antivirus is sufficient to safeguard ourselves from malware attack or anything else extra is required? What to be done if our system is predefined infected with ransomware? What to be done not to be infected with a ransomware? So what software if you install it that can protect you and not to worry to pay the ransom to the hacker? That tactics I will show in this topic. With that, I will end up chapter number 7. One question came, can we receive this recording? Yeah, if you want to receive this recording just after the demo, you can give a call to this number. I will mention in the chat. So drop the SMS or call to them. So they will provide the recording to you. It will be in hands of accounts team actually. So moving forward. So after this, moving forward now, chapter number 8, sniffing. Sniffing means wiretapping. So how the wiretapping is done? Like government do phone tapping, hackers do wiretapping. So for wiretapping, it is not necessary that we should physically connect to anybody's device. We can perform it wirelessly if you are connected to the same network. This chapter will only work for you if you are part of somebody's network already. This practical cannot be done in remote level or WAN level. This can be only done when you're part of somebody else's network. So how it is done actually by using what software, that practicals I have to show during this cover. So before we move to the practical, we will understand what is a sniffer, what is promiscuous mode. After that, what is the difference between active and passive information, passive sniffing method or wiretapping method? What is GAK as per government terms? Then coming to practical, first from a hacker's perspective, we will teach you what is man in the middle attack. Under that, you will learn two practicals. What is ARP poisoning? How it is done. Second, what is DNS poisoning? How DNS poisoning is done. First, in this topic, you will learn one-on-one attack. When you're part of somebody else's network, you can find out list of devices. How to perform MITM attack on a particular IP. That step I will cover using ARP spoof software. So like that, I picked up here some IP. If the MAC address is present, how this ARP poisoning is done using ARP spoof. If any packets are traveling, how can we see that packets coming toward our network interface card using Wireshark? Those who love Wireshark, those who want to learn in detail about Wireshark, I will be happy to teach. Otherwise, it will bore you a topic in depth. Wireshark is very, very popular for network forensics and for investigations purpose and for troubleshooting the network problems. So I will teach in detail each and every section how to read this content and what is a display filter and how to apply it. Suppose examine Suppose right now I run the Wireshark Let's say it is an internet cave where to which I'm currently connected. So after that, in the internet cave, any movements are happening in the network wires or wireless, I can see that packets here. So one of the internet cave customer opened their browser from their system where I'm sitting somewhere in the apartment nearby the internet cave where I hacked the internet cave Wi-Fi. After that, so one of the customer opened this website or similar type of website and enter the credential, and when they entered it, it was looking fine. There is nothing problem. But as I intercepted the packets, it will show to me here. What's wrong here? Nothing wrong. The wrong thing is the website is protected with HTTPS. If the website travel with HTTP specifically, then the packets are insecure. Any packets traveling with non-SSL, we can see the traffic. So I entered the traffic here, but I captured it here. Irrespective whether target entered correct username, correct password, or wrong username, wrong password. So here I found some details. As you can observe here, I captured here username and password, which is in plain text. What else, what other type of packets we can capture that can cause harm to the targets? This sniffer can be used for good purpose and also for bad purpose. So I will give you a few examples in the class and I will give you a challenge. You need to find out what type of packets I have captured, what type of attack I have captured it. So if you are unable to tell to read that one, I will explain you how to read the packet so that to find out which type of attack we have captured through the help of Wireshark. So in a CTF approach way, we are going to learn this topic. Same way, what is ITERCAP? By using it, how to perform man-in-the-middle attack on everyone in the same network at a time. Any type of packet travel from anyone, I will capture it. That will steal password specifically, traveling from any port number of the choice. And last but not least, in this chapter, you will learn what is MAC address changer, how to spoof MAC address using MAC changer application. I will show that steps to you and I'll give you time in the class to practice. Okay. There are different options available. I will explain the differences between each option with practical approach and for which type of hack attack MAC address spoofing is mandatory for a hacker. That part I will cover here. I will teach this practical both for Linux and for Windows OS. With that, I will finish chapter number 8. If you have any questions, please ask me a query. I'll be happy to answer. One question came, sir, in this course, should we knowledge on programming? No, sir. This is completely for the beginner. So most of the practicals we will learn with the inbuilt tools of Kali, which are pre-built with Perl or Python or Ruby or C. How to compile them, I will show that one. But from the job perspective, if you ask me, after the course completion, based on the type of job you're applying, if it is demanding programming, learn the base part of the programming there. From a fresher, company will never expect detailed knowledge. From a fresher, basically, they will expect basic knowledge of the programming. Depends on type of programming. Depends on type of cybersecurity job. And in every sector of cybersecurity job, programming is not required. There are so many sections present in cybersecurity. It's a vast field. Next question. Student with Mac laptop can be fine. If you are using Mac laptop and if your processor is M1 chip processor or M2 chip processor, in the initial stage, Kali can be installed. But later on stage, for many of the practicals, you will face problem because the developers of those hacking software did not made it compatible for ARM process. So for few of the practicals, you may get disappointed. So I will recommend you better to use either any laptop apart from Mac for the practicals. Okay. I'm not saying that you cannot install Kali or Parrot. You can, but the dependency drivers, which are libraries which are required for practical, they did not make it suitable much for ARM process, which are required for Mac laptop specifically. Next, can I get the meeting recording? Of course, sir. As I said earlier, if you want recording, please contact to this number. If you are unable to currently hold on, you can actually contact to this number, sir. They may provide you the recording. Moving forward, chapter number 9. One question came, should we have knowledge about some topics for this? No, sir. As I said earlier, this is a beginner level course. That is my job to teach. This is not for the advanced users. This course name is given ethical hacking so that we can teach from the beginning part. Okay. Let's move on towards next topic. Chapter number 9, social engineering. Social engineering is a deceptive method used by hacker to steal information that can be helpful for fraudulent activity purpose. That activity is called social engineering in information security terms. It is also called brain hacking or psychological hacking. So we will understand the important social engineering in hacking with the help of practical approach here. So we will learn about important concepts like what is dumpster diving, eavesdropping, shoulder surfing, piggybacking, tailgating, which are regularly done in our metro station by somebody. When we actually purchase a ticket, behind us somebody else will come. They will use your ticket and go inside. You need to face the problem. Same way, what is a phishing, spear phishing, valing attack, USB juice jacking attack? What are these attacks? We will show the practical scenario to all of you. And I will give you the case studies regarding that one. Coming to practical, we will demonstrate you how to create phishing page in our system locally with the help of social engineering toolkit. Here, we will learn how to use SE toolkit, social engineering toolkit, and how to host it online also. That method I will cover. So here I will plan which website I want to clone. Let's say I'm planning to clone this website, but irrespective whether it is HTTP or HTTPS or any other alternate sites also can pick up. Let me pick up here in URL colon login dot PHP. So here we found multiple sites. As we found the page, let me pick up the page. I will paste it here. If everything goes good, then I will share my IP address to my target. In the class, you will also learn how to do it in WAN level by hosting the web page in your PC. If the page is visible, then to the target will show. So this is a fake one and this is the original one. There is no much difference. If the admin believes this is real, JBIS admin, password, Kirak Pilli, $123. Then I click login. Immediate redirect to original site. But whereas here, it captures the username password, as you can see here. So likewise, we will also show through the help of phishing method how hackers hack the systems. And same way, what is a phishing attack? How hackers spoof the telephone number using caller ID spoofing software. I will demonstrate that practical using TextNow application, which is free. So I will show through the help of this application, which you can download for your Android or for iPhones. Any questions you have? Okay then. So I will move forward now to our next topic. Yes, sir. Recording. Okay. As I said earlier, please have a contact with them. Just call to them if you want recording. If it is becoming late, I'm trying my best to explain in detail so that before joining, you can get a clear picture actually. So this is a number. So later on after the demo, whenever you want, just give a call. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 1 second, everyone. All right. So apart from this, let's move on to chapter number 10. Chapter 10 is denial of service. In this chapter, we will explain what is a denial of service, distributed denial of service. This chapter is not about compromising. This chapter is ultimately about the last attack of a hacker. That means for destruction, crash, or so that the system, service, website should become unresponsive to their customers. So how that is done? I will show few practicals from Metasploit framework, which is present here. In Metasploit framework, most of the DOS exploits are kept under auxiliary section. So here, few of the exploit scripts we will pick up and we will target Wireshark, WordPress website, we will host and we will try to crash it. When they get crashed, we will try to understand due to what reason they get crashed, what to be done, not to be crashed. So we will learn the countermeasure methods for that one. Similarly, what is LOIC software? What is HOIC software through which hackers perform DDoS attack on Microsoft IIS server or Apache web servers? We will learn. Also, you will learn what is slow loris vulnerability, through that how hackers perform application layer DOS attack. Here on 107 IP address, there is a local website hosted. When we perform vulnerability scan, it will definitely declare this site is vulnerable to slow loris vulnerability. Think that this is some pizza website or some online e-commerce website where their whole business depend online. Now you found a critical bug on their web server. So by taking advantage, so I will use my syntax and I will launch attack on the target IP on target port. This will be irrespective of port 80 or port 443. Means irrespective of port HTTP or HTTPS. So I launch the attack right now. After 10 minutes or 5 minutes later, when I recheck what is happening here, so then when I try to revisit this website, once again, as you can see, I'm unable to load the page. This will be the symptom for every single user who will be trying to connect to that website right now. When this problem will be stopped, whenever hacker will stop it, at that time that problem will be resolved for that customer, client actually, whose our website belongs to. So hackers use this method for blackmailing purpose. So how this step are done? Attacks are done on smartphones, similarly on systems, servers, websites, with 7 to 8 different practicals I will cover in this chapter. And few practicals I will cover from exploit-db.com, where ready-made exploit codes are kept, how to compile them and launch attack on them. So the usage of it based on browser vulnerabilities, I will show DOS attacks to all of you. So in the ending, we will learn the countermeasures for the DOS and DDoS attacks. With that, I will wind up chapter number 10. Okay. Any questions or shall I move on quickly? Okay, then. Chapter number 11, session hijacking. Session is like a tracking ID assigned by the server of the website into the web page that track the user's activity who use the browser, that keep information for how long you're active, which page you're visiting, which browser you're using, whether you logged in or not. That details will be present in format of lengthy URL string or in the format of alphanumerical lengthy string. So hackers generally try to steal that session of an active user who still logged in. And if they steal it, hacker can misconfigure in their browser and they can hijack their account without knowing the target's username and password. Which way that hijacking can be done, that part we will cover in this practical. I will give you one example of the session part actually, how it can be misused. Here, from the same website, so currently I logged in here as a John Smith. Same way, here, hacker also have account in the same website. So hacker also have account in same website. Now here, I logged in as admin user and here I logged in as target John Smith user. Now, browser to browser, the place of the sessions will vary. Like in Chrome browser, so it is stored in cookies area. Cookie is a file which will hold information about this value. That value is called session token for the particular account ID. Now, I copy this ID and then here, inspect element, storage. This is the ID for admin user. So I'm deleting that and I'm replacing it. In the same way, another session ID for cookie J session ID, and then I'll paste it here. But when I refresh it here, you can observe that who am I? John Smith. Inside the Kali also I am John Smith, even without knowing the password. Here also in the host machine I am John Smith. So how this is done remotely? By using Beef, browser exploitation framework, which depends on phishing. The tactic I will demonstrate you on live website in class. It is not pre-built available in Kali. We will install it individually in Kali. We'll show the installation steps and afterward we'll perform phishing attack. If the target interacts with them after predefinedly when target already logged in, we'll get the session ID stored in the browser of the target to hacker. When hacker captures it, they configure it in the same way. So you will learn in this chapter 3 practicals. If attacker and target part of same network, with the help of man-in-the-middle attack, how sessions can be stolen. Second, if attacker and target both are in different countries, but both of them have account in the same website, if that attacker know target mail ID or social media, hacker can create the phishing page. With the help of it, how they steal it remotely. If the website is vulnerable to cross-site scripting vulnerability. Third, how session management testing is done using burp suit. So that is a ethical hacker method. When they perform on the client's website, which is a legal method. So how that is done, I will demonstrate the tactic here. And in the ending of the chapter, what will be the countermeasure for an end user so that they should not give session IDs to hacker. What are add-ons we need to add in our browser that can protect us. Same way as a developer, what type of mistake you should not do in the backend server that should expose sessions to hackers. Both the ways I will cover in this chapter. With that, we will wind up chapter number 11. Now, any questions you have, please ask that. Next question being asked. So, how many attempts are there to complete CH certification exam with voucher and having 1 year duration? See, based on your payment, sir, if you paid 42,480, in that only single attempt voucher will come to you. So, you will get 1 year time from the time you register. So, you can prepare and you can write. All questions will come from the material only. Second, during the course, we'll conduct 4 mock tests. Mock test is meant for the rehearsal only. So in the class, I will explain the answers for that questions which are present in the mock test so that you'll get an idea why certain answer is correct, why rest of them are wrong actually. So if you focus that one well, you can clear on your own in single attempt actually. Or later after the demo, I will explain you alternate option is there actually for that one. Okay. So let me move forward. Chapter number 12, Firewall, IDS and honeypots. So coming to firewall, IDS and honeypots. So first we will explain you what is a firewall, types of firewall, architectures of firewall, difference between bash and host, a standard for single hosted firewall or DMZ firewall, and between multi-home firewall differences. Then how to configure firewall using zone alarm in Windows I will show. Similarly in Linux, I will cover the practical of firewall using IP tables. IP tables is a pre-built command line firewall. How to write rules in the firewall. While demonstrating the practical of configuration firewall, we will compulsory understand about difference between input, output, and forward rules actually. Where to write what rule, how to write any rule to block any IP, port, protocol, software, how to allow to a certain IP, how to block a certain IP. These concepts I will show here and I will give you notes for that one. After that, coming to IDPS, what is intrusion detection and prevention system? What is the difference between network-based and host-based IDPS? Then afterward, what is the difference between different methods of detection? Difference between signature-based, behavioral-based, and anomaly-based, protocol anomaly-based detections, differences I will explain, through which IDS detects it but does not stop. That's why we use IPS. We will cover in this chapter IDPS configuration using Snort. Snort, how to install, it's absolutely free. How to install this software, which will also act as an advanced version of Sniffer. Excuse me, just a minute, charging is getting over. Sorry for the interruption. So here, how to configure the IDS with the help of Snort, I will demonstrate. And here, all the signatures are basically kept under etc rules directory. Okay, one second. So here, various attack rules are present. So how to write rules inside them. For example, I want to see DOS rules. So here we wrote the signatures, how to write signatures on your own, patterns on your own, or protocol-based rules on your own. The steps I will show in this topic. And afterward, what is the difference between false positive, false negative, true positive, true negative, we will learn here. Carrying forward, we will learn in this chapter what is a honeypot, difference between research-based, production-based honeypots, difference between low interaction, medium interaction, high interaction, and what is a pure honeypot, differences. Coming to practical, for Windows, I will show honeypot configuration using Valhalla. which is a free honeypot. Same way for Linux, I will show the practical with Pentbox honeypot. After demonstrating the countermeasures for which type of attack, honeypots or firewall or IDPS will work, then we will learn the bypassing methods. What are the methods used? We will show few bypassing methods here. More bypassing methods in detail we're going to cover during penetration testing course actually. So during that topic we'll cover. Then after this, chapter number 13, web server hacking. Web server is a software hosted on server operating system to host web technology files. So which way hundreds of websites which are hosted on a shared hosting server can be hacked, or on a single hosting or hosting server can be hacked. That practical I will show here. Why we need to learn? Because there is a website called zone-h.com. So this site is popular among hacktivists and between black hat hackers. Whenever they hack any government site or any corporate site to humiliate them, so they proudly publish it here. And later they share that information to news channels. So here you can observe that there are so many sites hacked that include government, Indian government site also. So if you observe that multiple websites hacked by same hacker group or individual hacker or same hacking group, after hacking, they publish in the site, your site has been hacked by following group of hackers. So to humiliate the company, or they take it as a playground. So if such type of incident should not happen, what to be done? Testing is required. So how the testing is done? We will cover the particular practicals during this chapter. We will divide this chapter into three phases: footprinting, vulnerability scanning, and then hacking the web servers. Let's say we will teach footprinting of web server using Nmap, also using Wireshark and WhatWeb in this topic. So when I check for, let's say one website is there, certifiedhacker.com. Once scan is over, it will tell on those ports, web ports, what web server is running. Are they running Apache, Microsoft IIS, Nginx server? So sometime it will also reveal the version number. Second, we will teach the vulnerability scanning using NICTO and Nessus one more time. After demonstrating the practical through Nessus and NICTO to all of you, when you will complete it, based on the vulnerability you discover in Nessus, you will try to find exploit in Metasploit framework. So here you can search for Apache exploits, Microsoft IIS exploits, which are meant to target web servers. So which way web servers can be hacked with the exploits from Metasploit, I will cover it. And afterward, you will learn what is defacement and mass defacement. This tactic in this topic, we will cover it. And in the ending of the chapter, we will learn the countermeasures. With that, we will finish chapter number 13. One question came, so will you also teach about commands used in Kali? Because I know only of course, sir. In the beginning itself, I told in chapter 1 itself, we will make you practice of Linux commands used in the Kali Linux. Okay, we'll give you reference notes. We'll teach you the commands in the class. Any other question? Okay then. So I will quickly move forward. Chapter number 14. Hacking web applications. In this chapter, first we will understand what is a web application. What is the difference between static and dynamic web applications? After that, we will introduce you to OWASP organization. What is it? For what purpose it is used? According to them, what are top 10 vulnerabilities as per year 2021, which is the latest one. So the new one has to become this year 2023 or 24. Still it is in beta mode. So we mostly proceed with 2021 standard. So what are these top 10 vulnerabilities? In detail, we will explain that part. Then afterward, we will divide this chapter into three phases: footprinting websites, vulnerability scanning websites, and then hacking. Coming to footprinting, we will show the practical how to find technologies used in a website for designing purpose. That will be helpful for a hacker to search for a weapon. For example, I'm typing whatweb space -v. So then let's say I will type hackerschool.in. This will show me through which programming language, are there any scripts used, are there any content management software like WordPress, Joomla, or Drupal, or cPanel has been used up. So that details I will fetch. For that details, I will try to search for weapons. Then to find vulnerabilities critical that can help me understand, okay, I can guarantee hack it. So I will show the scanning of websites using OWASP Zap. What is Zap proxy? How to install? By using it, how to scan any HTTPS websites. I will give you 20 minutes time in the class to scan any websites and how we will generate the report. And then finally we go to attacks. Coming toward attacks, in the class, I will demonstrate few of the practicals on live site. For few of the practicals, I will give you simulations. 1 to 3 days earlier itself, I'll share the simulation so that while coming to this topic, you can do the practical along with me. So some of the practicals online, we have discovered it. So we will show you what is cross-site scripting, difference between reflected, stored, DOM-based cross-site scripting, what is it, how it is done. If you ask me example of cross-site scripting, observe it here. Let's say here we have ultramutual.com. Here I have input field. Normally, these input fields should not accept any scripting code from the end user. If they have insufficient input validation, you can see I got a pop-up. This means that particular name input field is vulnerable. So is it a reflected or DOM or XSS based? Practical wise on different sites I will show. Same way, what is cross-site request forgery? What is command injection, shell injection? Same way, we will learn parameter tampering. What is file inclusion attack? What is path traversal attack? On the live sites, I will show. And I will give you time in the class to practice. After teaching that, we will move towards to chapter number 15. That is also relevant to web. But EC Council has kept it as a separate chapter. So chapter 15 is SQL injection. So first we will understand what is SQL, then what is SQL injection, what are the difference between authentication bypass attack, error and union SQL injection, blind and time-based SQL injection, what is out of band injection, what is in band injection, differences we will cover. Coming to practical, we will do all this practical on live site, no simulation. In every batch, I take live site so that to make you understand if I am in your place, how to find out sites on our own. Let's say this one, we got it from our previous batch. So first thing, we will authentication bypass attack is an easy method. Trial and error. I will give you flexible time in the class to practice that one. Let's say here I opened some websites. I know many of you are maybe already thorough about these attacks, but this is just one of the attack. I will not say only attack. So here we have a login form. I don't know the username password. If they have a issue here, so I entered something and boom, now I am the administrator of the website. So what was the issue? Due to what reason I got direct admin access without knowing username password? That concept I will cover. So whichever website are not vulnerable, they will throw you back to home page like this. There's another site. There's some college page. So they stopped it. Last month they were vulnerable. So chapter wise, topic by topic, I will show where IP spoofing is required. For this type of topic, I will show IP spoofing. Now you can see that I got admin access, but already someone has defaced it. So how this defacement is done during website hacking and during web server hacking using web application shells or trojans. I will cover it here. Okay. And second, how to perform SQL injection manually from the browser, how to write syntax. So here I will type in URL colon PHP question mark ID equal to. And here we will find different pages from all over the world. Now I don't know the username password here, but I will enter single quote to test. And now you can see that the page got crashed and here we got the error. So based on this error, how to write syntaxes through which you can find database name, table name, column name, from column how to find administrator username password. If the password is in hashed format, how to break the hashes. So that we will cover here. Similarly, this is another site. To test, I will enter single quote and you can see directly page got crashed up. So this method is a manual method. Third, you will learn practical with SQL map. So here I entered the syntax. This is the last syntax actually. So if everything goes well, I will directly get the administrators. What did I got? Principal, maid ID, everything for some college site where I found vulnerability. So then I will give you 15 minutes time. You can also practice it. And in the ending of the chapter, you will learn the countermeasures for the web application attacks and for the SQL injection attack. With that, I will wind up chapter number 15. Any questions? Shall I move on? Okay then. So the rest of the 5 chapters are small chapters. Chapter 16 is all about Wi-Fi hacking. So we will show in this chapter how we can break WEP, WPA2, WPA3, which is the latest security standard for wireless protocol, how those passwords can be broken. So during class, I will pick up Wi-Fi antenna. Okay, Wi-Fi antenna. So I will connect to my system and I will show which way by using Wi-Fi antenna. I can see my neighbor's Wi-Fi. If they are using WPA3, WPA2, WPA, how I'm going to break the password by using brute force method and by DOS attack method. Another method I will show if they have WPS pin number enabled, how can we break their passwords? For example, in our previous batch, I have broken few passwords by using Wi-Fi T. So their Wi-Fi names and their passwords with the help of pin number, which are nearby me 10 buildings away, their passwords we have cracked it here. In the same way, where pin number is not enabled, how to break them, that I will show. How hackers can do DOS attack, even we are not connected to their Wi-Fi. How to use air crack tools, Fern Wi-Fi cracker, similarly Wi-Fi T tools. We will cover this topic. And in the ending, actually, I will log into my Wi-Fi router and I will show what modifications, if you do it, that can protect your Wi-Fi from Wi-Fi hacking attack. With that, I will cover chapter number 16. So 2 more questions came here. Let me explain that. How many sessions or days required to complete CH course? See, let me tell you, this course will take 7 weeks, sharp 7 weeks, to complete the entire 20 chapters and including mock tests. Each week you will have 5 days that I have to explain anyhow in the ending of the demo right now. So 5 days, like they'll prolong for particularly 6 to 7 weeks actually. In that we'll cover all these topics. Next question, is there any time limit for certificate? Once you pass CA certification, your certificate is valid for 3 years. So for every 3 years, you need to renew. All right. So let me quickly move forward. Chapter number 17, mobile hacking. Cut short to say in mobile hacking, we don't cover anything related to WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. These are not part of this course. Okay. So what we cover here is if your phones are vulnerable, which way your phones are vulnerable. And then in such case, even if you have antivirus or firewall in your phone, if someone send a link, how exactly anyone can track your GPS location, pinpoint. Same way, if I want to particularly track your hack your front camera, if someone send a link in the name of happy birthday, happy festival names, why we should not open such kind of links, even if that is sent by a known person. If you do that, this practical will cover that basically when you mention your name, you may see in the browser or mobile, but by that time, what happens? By that time, what happens? Your front camera can be hacked up. Okay. And third method you will learn apart from this one by using Hound application, how to track exact pinpoint location. So two practicals regarding that you will cover here. And third, if any malware is installed through the help of link method, how they steal your contacts, call logs, SMS, that part we will cover here. That will work for Android, iPhones, and for systems. Later in this topic, we will cover how to know our phones are hacked. So that symptoms I will cover and I will show that on my phone to you. So after that, what type of apps if you install in your phone that can protect you from theft, similarly from malware attacks. So with that, I will wind chapter number 17. So this practicals will cover by downloading third-party apps from GitHub into our Kali Linux, and you will do the practical for that one. Now, if you have any questions, please ask me. Renew means what? How to rewrite? So that will be covered anyhow in the classes. So generally, for that one, you'll have credit points. If once you pass out the certificate, as certificate is valid for 3 years, so you need to maintain 120 credit points about it. Okay. If you're unable to maintain credit points actually, so before the expiration of third year of your certificate, do some advanced EC Council certificates like CPENT or CHFI, pass in that exam before your CA certificate expires. Upload the proof of it in the EC Council website, so your certificate will be renewed. That anyhow will cover in the course actually, sir. As I said now, during the course, we will cover that part. And even in the EC Council website, they have mentioned in detail about it, sir. So for maintaining the credit points, once you join the course, when you get that particular point, so that part is mentioned in your EC Council website. That what if you do, you'll get scores regarding that. Without writing any additional certificate, you can freely renew same CH again and again and again. You need to maintain 120 credit points. The credit point maintenance you can actually get to know from the EC Council certification webpage if you search it. Or during the class, I will explain that part. Anything you have question right now from this chapter, you can ask me now. Okay, let me quickly move forward then. Chapter number 18, IoT and OT hacking. So what is Internet of Things? What is operational technology? We'll first explain that one. Then afterward, what are the examples of IoT and OT? Where it is used? What are the top 10 vulnerabilities of Internet of Things? And similarly, what are the top 10 vulnerabilities of operational technology which are used in industries? Then we will take Raspberry Pi as an example. So we will install Raspbian operating system simulation in our system, or if you have a ready-made Raspberry Pi device, it inbuilt contain Raspbian OS. You have to install in that one firewall and a website on that. So which way the IoT like Raspberry Pi can be hacked up, we will show. If you don't have Raspberry Pi device with you, then you can install the Raspbian OS, which is absolutely free in the virtual machine as a simulation to practice. If you're able to hack here based on the configuration you made, definitely if the same configuration is there in the target's Raspberry Pi device, 100% they will be hacked up wherever they are. And then we will show how to find the Raspberry Pi device online after learning it from Shodan search engine. So here, when we type Pi hole, we will get the device information. Three thousand 383 targets. So we have it here. Okay. So these all are Raspberry Pi devices in the world which are currently binded. So how to know that whether we can hack or not during the class, I have to demonstrate that part. And in the ending of the chapter, we're going to learn the countermeasures for these topics. Chapter number 19, Cloud Computing. So what is cloud computing? For what purpose cloud is used? How come it's different from our normal computer? Then afterward, what are the difference between infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service, functionality as a service, container as a service, security as a service? We will explain the differences with example. Then, if you are a vendor providing services to the customer, before you provide, your deployment matters more. So, what are the difference between public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, community cloud, multi-cloud differences? We will cover the topic. Then after that, how to hack cloud, we will show by targeting own cloud. Own cloud comes under the category of particularly software as a service, which runs on Apache web server, installed particularly on Ubuntu operating system. So whichever targets are in front of me, they are using own cloud. So which way they can be hacked? I will show few examples in the class and I will give you time to practice. So whatever practical you learned from chapter number 3, scanning network, till SQL injection, that will repeat here because it depends on the cloud, what is running? Website or a web server or any game or any kind of web pages or any kind of files. So depends on that one, hack will vary. So that method I will show here and I'll give you time to practice. And in the ending of this chapter, you will come to know, apart from this Shodan, how from Google hacking technique, we can find different cloud devices. With that, I will finish chapter number 19. Moving forward to chapter 20, cryptography. Cryptography is a science which teaches us how to keep our data confidential, maintain the balance of the confidentiality, and send to them to whomever it is intended to. Okay. So the main objectives of cryptography is confidentiality, integrity, and non-repudiation, but no availability. So what are the difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption? Performing symmetric encryption or asymmetric encryption, how ciphers plays a vital role. How come ciphers are different from hash functions? What is the difference between encryption, encoding, and hashing? Differences with example, we will cover that one. Coming to practical, first you will learn from our general day-to-day usage purpose, how to create a secret hidden hard drive. Let's say in front of me, you see one file. What is it? You may say it's a text file, but I will say It is my hidden disk partition of 4 GB. You can see the size. Size of the file is 4 GB. How did you create it, that one? I will demonstrate that practical using VeraCrypt in the Windows OS. Okay. So I will show with the help of this particular device. Then how to decrypt that to put the top secret data inside that. Let's say I will select right now that file. If the password is correct, it will open. If not, some other file also may be hidden. Bind it to that one. But it will not give a hint that password is wrong. Along with that, I added additional layer of security. So if I am correct, then you will see the file name or you will find another partition there. If you forgot the password, God may save you. But luckily, I remembered it. So here I can see the disk partition. So I can keep whatever data I wanted inside. So to hide my data, to keep it as a privacy. Same way, similarly, next you will learn what is steganography, how to hide data inside the images, how to hide your data inside the audio file or a video file. That method I will cover. For example, here, there are two images in front of me, which are giving me same photo. Okay. When I try to open this file using WinRAR, so they are giving me error. Like I can see here, I got an error. In a similar manner, when I try to open another file, which looks same, it inbuilt contain top secret, inside which some data I have kept it. So how this is done using StegHide from Linux, how this can be done using Deep Sound application from Windows. I will cover that method as a part of cryptography chapter. And last but not least, you will learn how to make malware undetectable using crypter. What is a crypter? Types of crypter, from where we can download free crypter so that we can learn how it functions to bypass antivirus detections. That method we will cover here. And last part will cover hashing. What is it? How to know when someone give you a hash file, how to know which hash it is by using hash-identifier. I will demonstrate the practical. Once you identify which hash it is, how to break the hash using John the Ripper. That process also I will cover here by using John. In this check section, you will learn wherever you get the hash from database server, which may contain password, how to break them. Our Linux system, whenever we log into Linux, we log in with the Linux password. That password is stored in the shadow file. How to break the hash value of it. Same way, how to break hash for our Windows login password using John. This process I will cover. With that, I will end chapter number 20. So these are the content I will cover during these topics. So moving forward, I will not take much of your time. So those who will attend online or those who are going to attend offline, we request you that to please bring your own laptops So your lab, make sure that if you're using AMD processor, then your AMD processor should be particularly Ryzen 6 minimum. If it is Intel processor, it should be either Intel i3 or i5. Minimum 7th generation processor is required. Below 7th generation processor, damn slow for running the virtual machines, because nowadays all latest virtual machine software OS demand more higher amount of resources. So better the processor generation, better, faster it will work. Or at least for the next 10 years, it will work for you a lot. RAM requirement is minimum 8 GB. If you have 4 GB, better upgrade to 8 GB. With 4 GB is no more sufficient for deploying of multiple virtual machines. Okay. Next, those who are going to pick up this course, we are also offering penetration testing. So you can basically apply for automatically once you enroll for ethical hacking, when course is going to end, whenever will be the next pen testing batch, automatically our team will send the batch joining link to all of you. Okay. From our side, what we provide, once you join the course, we will also provide technical support using Discord. In Discord, we have our Hacker School channel. So here, once you get access to CEH, in class, whatever practical you're learning, you can ask your query here. So our teammates, whoever will be available, they will connect to your system through AnyDesk and we will help you out. And also we provide job assistance. If any kind of job description mails come to Hacker School, we will publish it here. So if the skill requirements are matching with your profile, you can directly apply to them. And also we regularly search in Naukri, Indeed, Hirist for freshers and for experienced people. So if any JDs are there, we immediately post so that it can be helpful for all of you. As a well-wish, we share. Company does not have any tie-ups with any other companies. So as we're not the consulting firm, so we can only provide the assistance here. So in these kind of jobs, what type of interview questions they will ask, also we will share that questions with all of you in the interview question section. You can visit this section anytime you like it, and you can rehearse your interview question papers part. We publish a SOC interview question paper, VAPT, web application pen testing papers, so that you can build a career in that section easily. Okay. And every class is recorded. Recording will be shared maximally on the same day by midnight 12 or by early morning 6 o'clock actually. So once you get the recording in your Google Drive, the recording will be stored there for 1 year. You can download the recording also. Okay. So this Discord service is given to all of you for 6 months. And our batch timings are evening 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Monday to Friday classes will be there. It will prolong for 6.5 weeks to 7 weeks. Okay. So this is about the CH course. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask. Dear students, registrations are open. One small request, if you like the demo, the practical course is purely 90% practical oriented, 10% theory will be there. You will do hands-on. I regularly do that. I will make you learn in the class. This course is completely from the beginner, completely from scratch. We will teach for this subject, how much required actually. Okay. Apart from those who are attending offline, apart from class hours, morning and afternoon, we have a lab. You can sit down and you can practice in our lab room. In lab, again, one subordinate will be available. They will help you. Those who are attending online from different cities, you can take assistance from Discord actually, where our teammates will be present from morning 10:30 till evening 7 p.m. during working days. And registrations are open. You can contact for the fees and discounts to following number. This is our admission team number. Or you can walk into Hacker School office between Monday to Friday or Saturday. It's open. Okay. Last moment registration, if you go ahead, there is a possibility seats may be there, may not be there, specifically for offline classes. So in such cases, we cannot help you. Sometimes batches are filled up at least 2 weeks earlier itself.